Professional development is it's a range of experiences. It's not just people sitting in workshop sessions and hearing what people have to say. It's people working on their critical thinking, on analysing their own practices and working to improve those. This is very important for people to have that growth and enrichment in the way that they deliver their teaching and their service to children. And the way that we do this is not just having people sitting in classrooms. It can be about having conversations, professional conversations, receiving mentoring support, working in small groups to enrich their thinking and develop better understandings of children's development and what quality actually looks like. And we've also got to think about it meeting the individual needs. Not everybody learns in the same way. Everybody has a different approach to their learning and to their professional growth. So professional development must be matched to the needs of the learner. The professional support coordinators in each state work closely with educators and services to deliver a program of professional learning and support to achieve quality outcomes for children and families.
We work in partnership with inclusion support agencies and the Indigenous Professional Support Unit, and we do that to provide a no wrong door approach to opportunities for professional development and support for childcare and early learning services.
Professional development and support is all about knowledge acquisition, so starting off at the basics of learning new knowledge and understanding things like regulations and compliance, the National Quality Framework and the Early Years Learning Framework. The second stage of this is about thinking and working together and analysing and evaluating. And this might involve workshop sessions, hearing new information and discussing that with colleagues and peers. And then the third and higher level of working on professional development is where people are critically reflecting on their practice and growing their knowledge, having deeper understandings and a much richer knowledge of children and families, their development and how we can build relationships and partnerships to achieve great outcomes.
Professional development is delivered by qualified facilitators, and what we do is we facilitate the professional learning so that it's customised through each professional development session. Each professional development session tailors into the needs and expectations of the participants.
What happens in a professional development session is hopefully always lots of learning, and that happens in a variety of different ways, with people forming groups and participating in activities, making decisions, questioning things, having time to read and reflect on the information that's being facilitated through the learning materials, and opportunities to think about how that relates to their practice every day, and hopefully think about some things that they'd like to change in the future in their services in order to be continually improving. Professional development sessions look like a variety of different things. They might be webinar sessions that people can engage in any place, any time throughout the country. They could be sessions where small groups of people get together. They could be one-off sessions. They could be a series of events where people have the opportunity to come back together and revisit ideas, and they could also look like a conversation circle where people are really just being more informal, or they could involve more structured activities and events.
The inclusion aspects that the PSC provide are through bicultural support, which helps support COLD families and children.
Bicultural support is valuable because it makes the eligible services more culturally aware, culturally competent and inclusive in their practices towards the COLD children and families.
Bicultural support works in partnership with other inclusion professional support programs such as the inclusion support agencies because it's important to work in partnership in order to be able to deliver appropriate and authentic support, resources and training that are unique to the different ISA regions. Bicultural support also works in partnership with the Indigenous Professional Support Unit in order to be able to offer authentic, multi-layered support to services that are interested in applying for bicultural support so that they can better include their Indigenous children and families in care.
We also provide specialist equipment, and the range of specialist equipment is quite diverse. It's free to access through loans to services, and it provides a range of materials including slings and hoists, nappy change tables, specialised tables and chairs, and it also provides support materials and inclusion activities to education and care services.
Organisations need to think about how they want their educators and teams to grow and develop. And this is developing rich and deep understandings of intentional teaching, what quality looks like, and also how they're going to deliver their service day to day for the children and for the families.
We've been working together to establish a suite of resources, and we continue to work together to provide professional development packages that are nationally consistent and learning materials that support understanding and the unpacking of the national quality standards within practice.
Our service was one of the first centres that went through the National Quality Standards assessment and rating process. So it was at that point that we started to tap into professional development available, and PSC was able to offer us what we needed. We've accessed training through PSC to help us with the National Quality Framework. We've attended leadership conferences, identify and respond to children and young people at risk, managing community organisation, sustainability and sustainable environments, programming and documentation, and I was also part of the Aspiring Leadership Forum.
Yekaterina worked very hard on her leadership, and it was important to Yekaterina that she build her own leadership in order to lead the service through the National Quality Framework and the National Quality Standards. She engaged in one of our programs that encouraged her to be confident in her leadership and understand the theory and concepts of leadership and be inspired to lead her team and have confidence to do that.
The leadership training that I received through PSC provided motivation for me, and I was able to pass that on to my educators in terms of coaching and mentoring them.
An example of professional support is around mentoring. This facilitated approach is aimed to promote professional growth and to improve or enhance practice.
We've seen wonderful examples of people who have been a bit fearful of engaging in professional development and have started that learning and have continued to higher level qualifications. And this is both a benefit to the children and families and also a benefit to the individual educator within a service. Professional development is really like the golden ticket to quality improvement. This is what takes people on their learning journey from qualifications through to greater levels of learning. Professional development is really all about engaging people in learning so that they can grow their knowledge, enrich their knowledge and deliver better outcomes for children and families.
Professional development supports learning and thinking. It's contemporary and meaningful to our children, our educators, our families and communities. Everybody wins.